Every decision, every choice has a process that follows it. For myself, for Mikey, we're choosing into being vulnerable because we understand the promise that it comes with. Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome to One-on-One with Juan. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us this week. This is a quick chop session. Every week we try to get in a couple people or at least one person to have a quick conversation about things that are relative to the recovery process and just in general life too. I don't want to limit it to just a recovery process because we're all humans and we all go through things. This week I have a longtime friend of mine, Mr. Michael Dronebarger, on with me. I appreciate you being on.
Yes, sir.
I've known Mike for about 7 years. I've known him since I got sober myself. So I get to have conversations with a lot of people, but I've gotten to talk to him a lot. He's had a difficult time sticking and staying, which is okay. That's, a lot of our process includes us figuring it out, and a lot of times that could mean not staying. So my friend, I was hoping that we could have a conversation, just go over some things that might be relatable to other people, but first and foremost, it's significant to yourself. What it looks like for you, and how that struggle exists within you for your recovery process. Like, what's that like for you, man?
For me, most definitely one of the biggest struggles I've had is like just opening up and getting vulnerable with other men and just being transparent with where I'm at, because I grew up without family or a father figure, so it's been difficult for me to really get close to other men. But like this time around, like I'm trying to put myself out there and be more vulnerable and just really be transparent with like all my emotions, like where I'm at in my recovery, because like a good portion of my life I've grew up on the streets and by myself, so it's been a struggle, honestly.
Yeah. So growing up for you, that struggle, dude, that's hard, right? Like, so many statistics can be written about what it's like to grow up in a home without a father, right? Mm-hmm. What did that create for you? What kind of effects did that have for you internally that you're trying to unmask and uncover and work through?
Honestly, like I said, first and foremost, it's not allowed me to be myself. And
in what way?
Like, I just wear a lot of masks, man. I have in the past, especially when it comes to relationship with other men. Mm-hmm. It's been easier to get close to women or, be in relationships to cover that up. Or, honestly, that's been one of my struggles in the past. But this time around, like, I've spent some time really trying to figure myself out and figure out really who I am and what I want in life, So I don't know, like this time around, it's really been different for me to really, just spend time with myself, because a big portion of the time I haven't been comfortable by myself, and just utilizing my support group and the good men I got in my life today, honestly. Yeah,
man, that's a real struggle. There's a stretching process. Like I heard you saying, I'm choosing to be like experience being alone, even though you're not alone, right?
For sure.
Experience having those feelings of loneliness, even though you're not alone, right? But not bringing somebody in to offer comfort where it's unnecessary, right? Like comfort isn't always good, right? Everything in moderation. So when you're experiencing those moments, like, man, this is applicable to anybody, right? Like we want other people to make us feel good. Generally, right?
Yes,
and we can have that, but it's not always good for us. What's it look like for you in the middle of the night or at a moment where you're feeling like you want to self-soothe or allow something else to offer you comfort? Like, what do you do?
Honestly, prayer and meditation this time around has been huge for me, honestly. I've worked on my relationship with my higher power a lot this time around. I make sure the first thing I do in the morning is pray, and the last thing I do is pray. Like a lot of times this time around, like I thank him for the things he's provided in my life rather than ask him for help, versus like when I was in trouble, that's the only time I prayed. This time around, I try to make it a point that every day that I spend time with God every morning and throughout the day, because it's been huge for me and my spiritual foundation this time around.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's fire. Yeah, you text me every morning.
For sure.
You reach out to me every day, dude, and it sets my day off right. But I heard you say, you're sitting in prayer and meditation, and it's like we get to uncover things right here, right in motion, right? Which is, how are you allowing men into your life, though, like you said, right? Like, how are you allowing healthy male relationships into your life to offer you support? Where is that happening, or where is your struggle in that? Like, where do you want to grow in that?
Honestly, being here has honestly allowed me to be more vulnerable and transparent with everyone I have around me, but also learning to set healthy boundaries with other individuals. Because so many times in the past, I've let other people, dictate my decisions or take me back out. So this time around, like, I've really had to weed out a lot of people out of my life and look at the healthy people that I do have in my life and utilize them, and all the resources here, and just with the people I have around me, it's amazing, honestly.
Yeah, dude. Yo, tell me if you relate. So, for me, getting in a relationship, like, I feel like people in general are like serial monogamous now, but I can say that for myself, right? Like, I was constantly in a relationship, and I would find myself in a relationship, isolating in a relationship. How do I forge and build a relationship with other men and have friendships if I'm submerged, right, in this relationship with a woman, right? And then at some point in time, a foundation's not built and I don't have the woman, but now I don't have any male friends, any friends that I don't need anything from romantically, sexually, things like that, right? I'm left on an island, right? I feel isolated. And how does it look for you? That's why I keep coming back to it, Like, for you, like, what's it look like for you to engage, not just as somebody that allows men to speak into you, but how does it look for you to allow what men speak into you to speak into other people from you?
Like I said, I've had a lot of good mentors and just men in my life. I'm an information person. Like, any information that's healthy and useful for me, I try to just share my experience and strength and hope with other individuals. Hopefully I can share my story with other people and they can relate to it and utilize that. So hopefully they don't have to go through similar struggles. Honestly, it's been a journey and learning process, but first and foremost, I've had to definitely get vulnerable and be open and transparent with the people I have around me.
Vulnerability is tough, though.
It is tough.
I paint a narrative of it. It's, for me, vulnerability. If I'm visualizing it or experiencing it, sometimes if I can paint a picture, it's like being in the middle of the ocean in the middle of the night, and there's blood in the water, and I'm swimming to an island that's 200 yards away, right? And trusting and having faith that I can get there. My ribs are exposed. I feel, out of sorts. Those physiological responses that I can have exposing myself in a vulnerable way comes with rewards. But the decision, I'm having this process lately where every decision comes with a process. Every decision comes with a process, and I keep coming back to this a lot lately, and there's a theme happening here, and I'm not going to ignore it. But for you being intentional about your choice to be vulnerable, what does that process look like as it moves forward? Being vulnerable. It's
scary, honestly, at points, but I've seen it very rewarding in different avenues of my life, whether it's work, whether it's friendships, relationships, whatever that case is. It's pushed me in a different direction than what I'm accustomed to, because so many times in the past I would run from my fears, and today I try to not let that dictate me, because I've allowed that to dictate so many decisions in my past, and today I try to work through those fears, man, honestly, because a lot of this has to do with fear-based things.
Face everything and run, or face everything and rise.
For sure.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So how do I support you in your process of growing your relationship with other men? What do you need from me? Quick three things that I can do to support you.
Sheesh. Just being there like you have, man. You've been a major support to me throughout my life, and there's been times where I've had to make my own decisions, and it was tough, but you've always loved me regardless of the choices I've made, and always spoke wisdom into me and show me the love that I've needed, and show me the support that I've needed when I didn't have support, so that's been huge for me.
Ready for it?
Yes.
Ask me how I'm doing, listen to my answer, and be willing to do what I need to be loved. That's what you can do for me, and that's what I'm willing to do for you. Deal?
Love you.
I love you, man. I appreciate you being on, bro. Seriously.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right,
you.
everybody. We appreciate you being on. Again, we're going to shoot back to making a decision, seeing the process through. Every decision, every choice has a process that follows it. For myself, for Mikey, we're choosing into being vulnerable because we understand the promise that it comes with. It allows people to see us authentically. It helps us monitor and travel through our pride, which tells us to not be who we are authentically. Hopefully you guys ask questions to people that you care about, that you love, which is how can I support you? 3 simple things is how are you doing? What do you need? And just listen. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. Please go into the comment section when this is posted. If it's Instagram, it's that dude Juan Duarte. Hit me in the comments, at me. We can have a dialogue about vulnerability or the struggle in the process. If it's Facebook, it's Juan Duarte III. I'll tag Mike in, and we can have a conversation in the comment section. We really want to hear from you. We appreciate you. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good day.